Prastaya Utale Srimate Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Siddha Swarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine
Raja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Godhead Heart Shri Vasudeva Bhaktivinod
Raja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Bhaktivinod
Raja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Godhead Heart Shri Vasudeva Bhaktivinod
Raja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Bhaktivinod
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol.
Haribol everyone, namaste and welcome to another special Sunday. Every Sunday is special when we get to have Kirtan, and of course today is the United Nations International Day of Yoga, and maybe some of you are coming over from that experience, 5 hours was it, of yoga lifestyle, all kinds of things. So we're going to continue with the after party, and that's our Kirtan tonight. Okay. So now we're going to have our guided meditation. It's been missing for a week or two. So sit back and relax, and if you'd like to close your eyes, you can. We can begin by taking 2 or 3 nice long inhalations and exhalations, just to settle in, and you should be able to hear this nice meditation music to help us as our soundtrack to the meditation journey. We want to gently, effortlessly enter into our meditation and Kirtan practice. So just take it nice and easy and relax. We're not trying to force the mind to do anything, but actually introduce the mind to this beautiful experience of Kirtan, of meditation. We want to begin with simple relaxation, just allowing the breath to help us come away from the day's activities, duties, responsibilities. And we just begin by gently resting in the sound of the music, in the rhythm of the breath. We'll practice our mindfulness now. We begin with awareness that we are the observer of that rhythm of the breath. We're simply watching as a silent witness each inward and outward breath. You may even become aware of the subtle beating of your heart. This is all taking place automatically without conscious engagement. The idea is to experience that you're the peaceful, the calm, silent witness, simply watching the beating of the heart, the rhythm of your breath, the sensations that you may be feeling throughout the body. And with each outward breath, consciously let go both of any physical tightness, any mental hanging on, clinging. With each breath, let go. Let us now take our practice to the next level. Now we step back from the busy mind, just letting the thoughts flow wherever they may want to go, Whatever thought may be there in the mind, let it be there. It will eventually be replaced by other thoughts and images. Different feelings, desires, ideas are all there in the whirlpool of the mind. So we want to step back from that whirlpool of thoughts and worries and experience that we are sitting on the bank of this stream of thoughts. We are not in the thoughts, we are not in the stream or the whirlpool. We are safely, peacefully, calmly sitting on the bank observing this stream of thoughts. In this condition of awareness, we can avoid being swept up in the whirlpool of thoughts. We understand that we are not our mind. We are the observer of the mind. We are also not the content of the mind or the thoughts that may be there. We are the Atma, the Self, the observer, the silent witness. Now in a moment we're going to harmonize our breathing, and starting from the third outward breath we add the mantra Gauranga. With each inward breath we are aware of the mantra silently in the mind on each inward breath. With each outward breath we vibrate the sound Gauranga. Let us enter into that transcendental sound. Let us actually take shelter from the storms of life, from the agitations of the mind, and let us effortlessly but consciously immerse ourselves in the mantra. Let us inhale together. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. One last time.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Thank you for chanting with us wherever you are in the world. It was very nice for us here.
Maybe people can let us know if they are also tuned to some of the Yoga Day festival online. It'd be interesting to know how many have come over from today, and so having a whole day of yoga. So please let us know in the comments if you're also part of the International Day of Yoga. That was our first online experience of that. So we thought it went pretty well. There's a lot of people to thank, and Janina and Sammy and Nitai and Jiva.
It wasn't quite as much fun for us, but
no, particularly during the Kirtan and the yoga dance with Jamuna and Amara. It's just not quite the same.
Didn't have the crowd vibe.
Yeah. Hopefully, next year we have a lot to look forward to. It'll be all back. Okay, so how's the temperature for everybody? Normally ask this on Sunday, so because we have a door to our left here that's letting in the evening cool.
And
so
we have air conditioning as well.
Right, the air conditioning is off. Okay, so today, just wanted to have a brief little talk about today, not just International Day of Yoga, but today in the Vedic or Vaishnava calendar is actually a very auspicious and holy day. It is the what's called the disappearance of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. Bhaktivinod Thakur is in our sampradaya, or our lineage of spiritual teachers. Off the top of my head, I can't remember his exact life period, but I've got it here on my tablet, so let me grab it. There we go. So Bhaktivinod Thakur was present in this world from 1838 to 1914. And you'll notice sometimes when we speak about these holy days and these personalities, we use the terms appearance and disappearance, as opposed to born on this particular date and died on another particular date. Because, as I'm sure every one of you are aware, it is a very clear realization and reality that we are not our physical bodies, that we are the eternal Atma, the eternal part and parcel of the Supreme Atma, the Supreme Soul. And so for the living being, there is neither birth nor death. So we speak about appearance and disappearance, particularly of the saintly person, that they appeared in this world to help us, to enlighten us, and out of compassion for the suffering of the living beings in this world, they come to bring this message, this news, this opportunity on how we can break out of the bonds of the wheel of samsara, the wheel of repeated birth, diseases, old age and death. So it is on this day that we are observing the disappearance of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur on this date in 1914. So there is so much that we could speak about Bhaktivinod Thakur, but one of the main things which, I mean, it's all relevant, in fact, to the whole world, to all living beings in the whole world, the life and times of Bhaktivinod Thakur. But he is especially, of all the acharyas in our line, he especially stands out in recent times because he is the pioneer of spreading bhakti yoga, and specifically the chanting of the holy names of the Supreme Soul throughout all the world. And he is the first of our acharyas to actually write the sacred text, to translate, to comment, and to write commentary on these sacred teachings in English. And in fact, he sent the first English book to the West on the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in, 1896, as I recall. He sent a book about the precepts, the life, the precepts and teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he actually sent it all around the world, to, as far as I recall, to McGill University in Canada, And I actually found out not that long ago, there's actually one in the Sydney Library. So one of the original books that Bhaktivinod Thakur sent around the world, one of them is in Sydney as well, but many other libraries around the whole world. And he was in correspondence with many of the philosophers and transcendentalists of his time. Was it Thoreau he was with, or Emerson, one of those guys? Thoreau. He was actually in regular correspondence with some of the American transcendentalists, and he introduced many of them to the Bhagavad Gita and things like that. But his prime that we know him for is because we would not be here today chanting these beautiful names of Krishna if it were not for his influence. He was so prolific in writing his transcendental works that he started writing books at 12 or 13, as I recall. And over his lifetime, he wrote around about 100 books, all on transcendental subject matter. And he wrote hundreds and hundreds of poems, prose and things like that. They're absolutely astonishingly wonderful, delving into the depth of real spiritual life, of bhakti, of loving devotion to the Supreme. So there's lots of different incidences that happened that he did in his life. I mean, he was not a renunciant in the sense that wearing robes and shaved head. He was actually a family man who had 10 children, and he was also a magistrate at that time under the British Raj. So he was a well-respected magistrate. Many other achievements. He was actually the manager of the vast Jagannath temple in Puri, as well as so many other things. But his prime goal in life was to share the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the teachings of yoga, and to spread the holy names. So what I have here is a couple of things I'd like to read. One is actually Bhaktivinod Schedule. It's interesting to see how such transcendentalists as Bhaktivinod Thakur, how they spend their time. They see time as being very precious and do not waste even a moment. So here, Bhaktivinod Thakur was always anxious to use every moment in the loving service of Krishna. And he actually followed a very strict and austere daily schedule. And this is his schedule. 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., 2 hours, he would rest. From 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., he would write his works and commentary on the sacred text. So 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., he would write. 4 a.m. to 4:30, half an hour, he would rest. From 4:30 till 7 a.m., he would do his meditation, chant his japa, etc., his kirtan. From 7 a.m. to 7:30, he would respond to letters, correspondence, and things like that. 7:30 to 9:30 a.m., he would study the sacred text, the Shastras. 9:30 to 10, bath, breakfast, very simple breakfast of fruit and chapatis. 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., he engaged in his court duties. At 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., he would go home and refresh. And then at 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., he would go back to his court duties. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., he would translate Sanskrit Shastras into different languages. And then from 7 until 8 p.m., he would bathe, take prasad, and then the rest of it, you know. So this, if you look at it, this is the summary of his schedule. He would sleep 2.5 hours, write 8 hours, do japa and study 5.5 hours, and work 6.5 hours. Not a lot of time for anything else. And behind all of this activity, you know, usually when people engage in this kind of schedule, and there are people who also, you know, push really hard to achieve in their life, but you find generally, for the majority of people, it is out of some kind of self-interest. They're going to gain something from it as far as their bank balance goes, as far as, you know, prestige or their career and things like that. So many people actually work very, very hard. But here the difference is Bhaktivinod Thakur actually wanted to share this wisdom and practice from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the benefit of all living beings. And there's actually another little thing I thought I could read. Let me see where it is. One interesting thing, I have a note here, on that when Bhaktivinod Thakur sent his book to the Western countries in 1896, it also happened to be the year, the appearance or birth of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, that same year. And as many of you may be aware, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is our spiritual teacher's teacher, and he actually practically fulfilled the desire of Lord Chaitanya and the desire of Bhaktivinod Thakur to spread the holy names and the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu throughout the whole world. So the other couple of notes I have here is Bhaktivinod Thakur made 3 predictions. One was, a personality will soon appear, wrote Bhaktivinod Thakur, and he will travel all over the world to spread the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And it is clearly understood, and the reality is that this is Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. His second prediction was, very soon the chanting of Harinama Sankirtan will be spread all over the world. I mean, at this time India was under the rule of the British Raj. They were not free in that sense. But Bhaktivinod Thakur made this bold prediction that very soon this kirtan practice or chanting of the holy names of Krishna will spread all over the world. And he said, "Oh, when will that day come when people from America, England, France, Germany, Russia, etc. will take up the kartals and mridanga and chant Hare Krishna in their towns?" When he made this prediction, he made this statement, this was not happening anywhere in the world, basically, outside of India. Whereas now, kirtan is factually, and the chanting of Krishna's names is factually all over the globe. His third prediction was where he said, when will the day come when the fair-skinned foreigners will come to Sri Mayapur Dham and join with the Bengali Vaishnavas to chant Jaya Satchidananda? They'll chant the holy names of Krishna. He said, when will that day be? And now there are centers and places throughout all the places of pilgrimage in India, the holy sites, where people, the fair-skinned foreigners, are all coming and chanting these divine names with the local people as well. So what I thought I'd do is read a little bit of one of the writings of Bhaktivinod Thakur. It's actually in the form of a poem. It's called The Jiva Soul. But there are so many wonderful understandings and realizations, and that I thought this would be nice. It's one of his very famous poems. It's a few stanzas long, so we'll see how we go. So the idea is, as I'm not a great poetry reader, but the words of Bhaktivinod Thakur, if we listen to them and we try to imbibe the feeling, the ideas, the communication that he's trying to give to us, we'll actually be able to gain a lot from hearing this poem, The Jiva Soul. He says, alas for those who spend their days in festive mirth and joy. The dazzling, deadly liquid forms their hearts for employ. The shining bottles charm their eyes and draw their heart's embrace. The slaves of wine can never rise from what we call disgrace. Was man intended to be a brute in work and heart? So when he's speaking of man here, of course, he's talking of humankind. Was man intended to be a brute in work and heart? Should man, the Lord of all around, from common sense depart? Man's glory is in common sense, dictating us the grace that man is made to live and love the beauteous heaven's embrace. The flesh is not our own, alas, the mortal frame a chain. The soul, confined for former wrongs, should try to rise again. Why then this childish play in that which cannot be our own, which falls within 100 years as if a rose are blown? Our life is but a rosy hue to go ere long for naught. the soul alone last fore'er, with good or evil fraught. How deep the thought of times to be, how grave the aspect looks, and wrapped in awe become all we, when reading nature's books. Man's life to him a problem dark, a screen both left and right. No soul hath come to tell us what exists beyond our sight. But then a voice, how deep and soft, within ourselves is left. Man, man, thou art immortal soul, thee death can never melt. For thee thy sire on high has kept a store of bliss above. To end of time thou art o' his, who wants but purest love. O love, thy power and spell benign, now melt my soul to God. How can my earthly words describe that feeling soft and broad? Enjoyment, sorrow, what but lots to which the flesh is heir? The soul that sleeps alone concludes in them it hath a share. And then my friends no more enjoy, nor weep for all below. The women, wine, and flesh of beasts no love for these bestow. But thine to love thy brother man, and give thyself to God. And God doth know your wages fair, this fact is true and broad. Forget the past that sleeps, and ne'er the future dream at all, but act in time that are with thee, and progress thee shall call. But tell me not in reasoning cold, the soul is made alone, by earth's mechanic lifeless rules, and to destruction prone. May God, who gave us life and all, alone the soul can kill, or give it all the joys above his promise to fulfill. So push thy onward march, O soul, against an evil deed, that stands with soldiers, hate and lust, a hero be indeed. Maintain thy post in spirit world as firmly as you can. Let never matter push thee down, O stand heroic man. O Saranagahi, Vaishnava soul, thou art an angel fair. Lead me on to Vrindavan, and the Spirit's power declare. There rest my soul from matter free upon my lover's arms. Eternal peace and Spirit's love are all my chanting charms. So there's many, many wonderful things in there, and today is not the time to discuss, because it would take many hours. But what we'll do is we'll put this in Facebook, and we put it in the post, and you can read it and consider it, contemplate upon these wonderful thoughts of Bhaktivinod Thakur in your own time. So one of the things I wanted to do today is sing one of Bhaktivinod's other songs, yeah? So this is also a very famous poem, it's a song, if you like, of Bhaktivinod Thakur. It's called Jaya Radha Madhava, and Madhulila is going to lead us in it. So let us do so.
So if you look in the chat on the Mantra Room live stream, I've posted the words. So I'm hoping that you'll sing along at home. And those of you at home, if you'd like to, we would love you to share the stream. It's such an auspicious day and a remembrance day of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur, and it's nice to be part of his prediction of these holy names spreading around the world.
He didn't mention the Gold Coast specifically, but here we are.
May not have existed at that time.
Not known as that anyway, no. This is for all peoples of all nations of all time.
Rajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jayarada Madhava Kunjabihari Gopijana Vallabha Yasodhanandana Vajrajana Rajana Jamunatira Vanachari Jayarada Madhava Kunjabihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jayarada Madhava Kunjabihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Vajrajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jayarada Madhava Kunjabihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jayarada Madhava Kunjabihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Vajrajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jayarada Madhava Kunjabihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jayarada Madhava Kunjabihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Vajrajana Ranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jayarada Hare Krishna,
nice. So yeah, we'll put those that poem of Bhaktivinod's in there later on, and you can keep that. So now we have a new one from Nitai. This is one that he pulled together.
We hope.
Mm-hmm.
We
So,
hope it got pulled together.
Just close your eyes and take it in. The lyrics are wonderful. Gauranga, Haribo, Gauranga, It went all right. We didn't even have a rehearsal. Just kind of threw the chords out there just before we started. So we'll keep working and getting that one great. Thank you, Nitai. Okay, so the next one kind of is a little bit of a similar feel to that. We also haven't done this one for a while as well. A lot of water has flowed under the bridge since we've done this one. Okay, Jug. Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana, Mohana.
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 Gopala,
Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana, Mohana.
Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana, Mohana.
Nityananda, Nityananda Haribo, Gauranga, Gauranga Haribo,
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 Nityananda, Nityananda Haribo, Gauranga, Gauranga Haribo.
Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana, Mohana.
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 Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol,
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol,
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol,
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol,
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol,
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol,
Nityananda, Nityananda, Haribol, Gauranga, Gauranga, Haribol.
Haribol. Okay. More? Would you like some more? Let's hear some comments. See some comments. More? What time have we got? Nearly 1:45. Yep, we have time for more.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Gurudev, should chant the holy names of the Lord in a humble state of mind, feeling oneself to be lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, ready to offer all respects to others in such a state of mind. One can chant the holy names of the Lord constantly. Namaste, Nara Shringhaya,
Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Siddhaswarapananda Paramamsa Itinamani Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinod Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We're done. Thank you very much for coming along. And do we have anything coming up? Is there some meditation course that's been offered? Or
Yes, there is a Transform Your Life with Meditation course coming up. I don't know when, because my phone is dead. It's my brain.
But there is one.
Yeah, if you look on asmy.org.au or on any of our Facebook pages, all the info will be there. It's going to be online. I believe it's on Zoom. So anyone from all around the world can join. Everyone and anyone.
And you can invite friends who maybe you think would like to learn to meditate, or they might already have some interest, and you can direct them towards this.
Yeah, you know, there's so much confusion. I'm a member of a few Facebook groups, and there's just people asking questions all the time, so confused about how to meditate, what the goal of meditation is, what to do when your mind is driving you crazy, you know, all these different experiences that come up during people's meditation. And this Transform Your Life with Meditation course is just really simple, super streamlined, really simple, really clear, and just gives you a really, really easy access to just such a powerful tool of meditation.
Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Haribol. Haribol.